Hello, Bailey. Tonight, for your bedtime stories, we're going to read Tales from the Gum Tree by May Gibbs. And the story we're going to read is called The Dragonfly Races. One morning, Snugglepot and Cuddlepie were lazing in the sunshine when, zoom! A cluster of glittering dragonflies flew overhead. Oh, how I'd love to fly, said Snugglepot dreamily. I wonder how it would feel to race through the blue, blue sky. Perhaps I might get the chance today at the dragonfly races. I'd rather stay safely on the ground, Cuddlepie said. Besides, only expert flyers can ride dragonflies, he added. But Snugglepot pretended not to hear. The usually sleepy bush was now bustling. Crowds of bush folk had come from far and wide to enjoy the fun, and the nuts had never seen so many of them in one place. Hello, young friends, Mr. Lizard called out. He was dressed so smartly, Snugglepot and Cuddlepie hardly recognised him. What would you like to do first? He asked. I would like to ride a dragonfly, said Snugglepot. I think you'd better leave that to the racers, Mr. Lizard laughed. How about the slides? They had a wonderful time whizzing down the slides on their leaves, slurping cups of nectar and riding on the swings. They enjoyed themselves so much, Snugglepot forgot all about flying. Mr. Lizard called them over. Come and see this. High up in the branches above, the Baronia babies were putting on a daring acrobatic show. The audience was spellbound as the performers swung in trapezes and somersaulted through the air. I hope they don't fall, Cuddlepie whispered. The spiders have woven a net, so they'll be quite safe, reassured Mr. Lizard. Look out, Snugglepot cried. The audience gasped as the Baronia baby suddenly let go of the trapeze. Using her petals as a parachute, she floated across the clearing. All the Baronia babies were now flying through the air, laughing as the breeze filled their petals. It seems everyone can fly except for me, said Snugglepot, trying not to be sad. I would so love to fly. Never mind, Mr. Lizard comforted. Maybe when you're older you will. To fly takes a great deal of practice. Snugglepot knew Mr. Lizard was right. But I wish I was up there, he said wistfully, watching the gliding acrobats. Just then, there was a rustle overhead. A beautiful butterfly emerged from her cocoon, ruffling her wings to dry them in the sun. Suddenly there was another flash of colour, then another. The butterflies were waking up after their long slumber. Cuddlepie clicked his fingers with a grin. I know how you can fly. Flagging down a butterfly, Cuddlepie whispered in her ear. She nodded and fluttered over to Snugglepot. My name is Sunburst. Where would you like to go? She asked Snugglepot. He climbed up onto the butterfly's back, and with a flap of her wings, she gently took Snugglepot upwards. Oh my, cried Snugglepot. I'm flying. I'm really flying. He couldn't believe he was up in the big blue sky, and it was simply glorious. Wait for me, Cuddlepie called out to Snugglepot and hopped onto a waiting butterfly. It moved so slowly and gracefully he felt quite safe. It was as if he was travelling on a cloud. Waving goodbye to Mr. Lizard, the butterflies took the nuts right across the whole carnival. They marvelled at the sights far below them. This is amazing, shouted Snugglepot, full of glee as his butterfly looped the loop. Cuddlepie smiled, but was glad his did not do the same. When the butterflies finally landed, both nuts were absolutely giddy with joy. Did you enjoy flying, Snugglepot? Asked Mr. Lizard, who was waiting for them. Oh, yes, said Snugglepot, bouncing with excitement. Did you see me fly? I had the best time ever. And what about you, young Cuddlepie? Mr. Lizard smiled. Well, flying isn't so scary after all, Cuddlepie said. Next time, shall we find a dragonfly?